Hey, I am here because I am getting asked a lot why I am stopping writing fan fiction. So the reason why is not because I'm angry at the fandom or I'm upset about something or because I know there's so much salt. That's not why I'm leaving. I am leaving because I want to focus on what I got a degree in, which is English. And so I have always wanted to write novels. Um, Fan fiction was like a hobby, but also a way that I could speak my thoughts and get my emotions out, and it was fun. And I have a huge obsession with the show because I relate to it so much, and is literally the only show and fandom that exists out there that is literally like me and my husband's story, and that is why I love it so much. To be honest with you. Um, so yeah, I've been writing for I think almost 4 or 5 years for Miraculous Ladybug fandom now, and drawing for it. And it's my time to go. I have loved it. I have loved meeting everyone. I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for the friends that I've made and will continue to make because I'm not leaving. I'm still going to be around. I'm just going to now be a reader. So I get to read all of your guys' great things and look at all of your guys' art more and focus more on like the fandom and being a fan and not a creator in the fandom. So that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping away from creating. Other than occasionally maybe here or there I'll draw something. I don't know. We'll see. But and commissions. But I'm not going to be like as crazy obsessed with writing for it. Because a lot of you don't know that I've actually like had priority issues since I started writing for the fandom. I started putting it above doing housework. I started putting it above um focusing on my kids' school. I started putting it above my own health. If you guys don't know, like my knee went out because I wasn't doing anything but sitting on my computer and writing all day. That means it could be from like 6 hours to longer straight, sitting and writing and doing nothing else but writing. That was how I was updating constantly. I was literally obsessing over getting something done because I felt like, and I know a lot of people feel this way, that write or do drawings, that if you don't get it done or you don't update, you'll let down your readers and let down your fan base. And that's not the case. You need to make sure that you're taking care of you. Don't put that above everything else. Take care of you and your family. And that's what it comes down to. So I am going to be finishing up all of my fanfics and all my projects. I have a few collabs about to happen and drop eventually before I go. And then those will be finished up. My fanfics will be finished up. The only one that will not be finished up is the Mob AU. And the reason why is because that one is very special. I kept mentioning in my notes that there was a huge story behind it because there is, and it needs to be done. However, I'm going to be making it into a novel because even if I do stop writing that one and I do delete it off of AO3 and fanfiction.net if it's there, I don't get lost track now because I barely update on fanfiction.net anymore. And that's a whole nother story. I don't like the platform as much as AO3. It's not user friendly. um, but anyway, so that one will be turned into a novel for sure. So it'll be continuing on, but as its own book because, and I could tell the story now because I'm not going to finish it. But that one actually had to do with when we went to Vegas. I've only been to Vegas once, and we went there, and I had an experience with a couple that was a ghost, and they showed me how basically they passed away at the casino hotel we were staying at. I didn't know what had happened at that hotel before. I didn't know any history about it. I knew absolutely nothing. So we're gonna tell a little ghost story, I guess. And I was sleeping, trying to sleep, but I was asleep. And you know when you're like between waking and sleeping, so you don't know whether you're dreaming or not. Okay, so that happened. Um, and all of a sudden I was like, I woke up because I was hearing. Oh, I wasn't really awake, but half awake. I was hearing voices and it was a guy in my ear like saying stuff like, sweetheart, are you awake, or something like that, like asking if I'd slept well or if I was sleeping, and like in a very like loving manner. And then I saw all of a sudden saw a lady in a red dress, and her hair was all done nice, and she had like a crystal hairpin in her hair, and she looked gorgeous. And he was dressed up in like a black pinstripe suit and with like a fedora, like not a fedora hat, sorry. His hair was like dark and like wavy-ish, and it was like slicked back all nice. And all of a sudden he's like taking her hand, and I'm confused because I'm watching this all happen, because a lot of you don't know, actually I'm like sensitive to spirits and things. It's a thing I've had since I was like 3 or younger. Anyway, that's a whole other story. So then I watched them, like he took her hand and then they walked over to the window in our hotel room, and then he suddenly they were opening the window, and for some reason he stood up on it, and they both stood up on the window, and then she jumped. And then he all of a sudden, I was like, from her point of view, she turned around and she looked at it up at him, and he shot her before she hit the ground, and then he jumped. So I didn't know what was happening. I was like, oh my gosh, like what did I just see? And so it just kept sticking with me. And so I went home, and when we got home, I Googled the casino we were staying at, and I found out it burned down in a fire, and they still had one of the towers left. Well, there was an elevator that no one would get on also, which was really weird, before I saw this happen. And then, so it all kind of made sense then. So there's an elevator that is still existing from the old building that will take you up to that tower that they kept because it didn't burn down. So they kept partially the building, and then the rest of the building they completely rebuilt, and that's the part you're staying in. So I found out that a bunch of people jumped. They died or they passed away in the stairwells, or they passed away in various other ways. But they tried to escape and they couldn't because it was so tall. So then I realized that that's probably what happened. Was I was being shown a couple that had passed away, and they had jumped from the building, and in order for him to, or her to not be in so much pain when she hit the ground, he shot her. I also kind of thought maybe that had to do with like the mob a bit, since Vegas, and various other places in the United States. But I assumed that's why. So then I became obsessed with telling this couple's story of how they got to that point, and that's how Mabayu was born. And I've actually been using a lot of factual information from different nonfiction resources for 2 actual like famous mobster people. So that's what I've been doing. That's what that's from. So it needs to be finished for those people, but will not continue because it takes so much research to do that I can't. I literally cannot. It would take me like a year or more to finish that story. So it's not getting finished. I'm just deleting it because I barely started it anyway. I know a lot of you were excited about it, but that's why I can't finish it. It'll take me forever. What else? I have shared on Tumblr all of my social medias to find me, other than the fandom ones that you all know. And yeah, I'm basically just leaving because it's time. And I'm not really leaving, I'm just not creating for the fandom anymore. But I've had a ton of fun. I met a ton of people. I hope to meet more of you because it's super fun making friends all over the world. It's super exciting. I have helped more people than I can imagine, which has always been my goal with writing, is to help people, and I'm so glad that I have. It's made me so happy that I've like literally cried from being so happy, getting comments of people's stories and just hearing your guys' stories and getting to know people, and that, I helped you feel a little better, more accepted, or helped you cope with something you were struggling with. And that makes me super happy because I struggle with stuff too. And I don't know, I think it's amazing. Thank you guys. And I'm sorry I'm leaving. I'm sad too. But you can still talk to me on all my social medias. It's fine. Come say hi. I'm not scary. I promise. I'm not. Anyway, I hope you guys have a happy holidays, and I'll see you around still. All right, bye.